Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Grace, and today we're going to be talking about student teaching. I just wanted to say a quick note that I teach both at a studio, at Innovative Music Studio, and also at my house. So this video will be more specifically to the studio teaching, and I will also make a video on my home teaching. So let's get right into it. So first, I just wanted to talk about the different resources that I use and what I have to bring to work each day. So first, I try to make sure that I always bring my computer, or I have a computer at the studio that I use. This way I can log on to the app that my studio uses, which is Tonara. And this is the app that we can track our students practicing on. So it tracks their practice hours, and also it puts all of their assignments on there, so they know exactly what they have to practice and exactly how much time we want them to spend on it. And then I will also add in notes to those assignments. So I can create an assignment and then I can put in notes so that they know exactly how they have to practice that thing, and anything that we've gone over, I just write in there so that they don't forget it. Another thing that I bring is a copy of the books that my students use. We typically use Piano Adventures. Piano Adventures is a really great course, and my studio really enjoys using it. I really enjoy using it because it's very simple to understand, but they also have accelerated programs or accelerated paths in the program that different students can use. So it goes a little bit faster. So if they're a little bit more advanced, a little bit older, they can do that path, and it doesn't go as slow as a path would for a child who's a little bit younger. They also have adult paths, so those are not going to be as kiddish, obviously, and so I just really like it because there's so many different programs that you can use, but you can see how the concepts are still clearly explained in every single path that you take. So I really like that. I typically try to have a copy at all times of these books. Some of the copies are at the studio, but I always take home a copy of the level 1. It's not the level 1, it's the primer level. The primer level, and also the one just under that as well, for the little babies. And I always try to have those at home and also at the studio. And then you can also bring water and snacks, different things that you're going to need like that, and a writing utensil. I try to make sure that I have a pencil or something else. Try to stay away from pens. It's just always better to have something that can erase. It's good to also have highlighters so that if something is kind of hard to see in the music and maybe the student keeps missing that when they're reading it, then you can highlight that, and it's just very helpful because your eye will just go right to the highlight. So it's really good. So I wanted to walk through a typical day in my student teaching life so that you can kind of see what it's like. Maybe you're thinking about being a student teacher and you kind of want to know what it all entails. So I will get to the studio every day, and I'll set up my classroom, which has 3 different pianos in it, and each piano is a different station. And I'll typically be teaching 3 students at a time. And how we'll do it is one piano will be where I teach. So each student will get about a 15 to 20 minute lesson from me. And then the other station will be where they will maybe complete a theory page, or they'll practice a concept that we went over when I was teaching them, or we'll do something like that. Maybe they'll warm up there, or they'll practice a song that they are going to practice at home. So if they have any questions, they're going to find out those questions in our lesson time where I can answer them. I always try to, answer questions that I get during the week as well, but it's always good that they can just isolate those questions before they leave. And then the last station is where we will give them, I call it iPad time, and basically they have the iPad and it has an app on it, And this app will track their progress and it will give them different songs to play. And it's really fun for them, but one thing that they probably don't really realize is they're learning how to sight read, which is a very, very important skill to learn. They're learning how to sight read and they're learning different values of notes and how the music should sound. And so it's just a very good program. It's called Piano Maestro, and we also have one that's called Dustbusters, which is a little bit harder. And the students love it, and it tracks their progress, which is really nice, and it will give them stars depending on how well they did. So it's really good. So then I will have my lesson time. Each student will have 15 to 20 minutes at each station, and sometimes we'll do a game at the end. I just kind of try to gauge how much time we have and if we've done a game in a while. These games games in general is just a really good thing to do because it helps solidify different concepts. I try to do a lot of musical games, so it'll solidify a concept that we've done before maybe. One game would be, it teaches them their finger numbers, and that's really good because it just teaches them to quickly recognize which finger number is which. It's really good. It's a really fun game for them to play. So I would just say be creative with things like that. Be creative with the assignments that you give them. Be creative with the games that you play with them. A lot of my lessons are focused towards smaller children. So maybe if you have adult students or just older teens, you wouldn't do maybe some of the things that I do. But if you do have younger kids, then it's a really good idea to just be creative with everything and really make everything very fun and very innovative. I just wanted to quickly address something. If your kid is having a very hard time sitting down, maybe they're very young or they're just having one of those days where it's beautiful outside and they just want to go outside and play, then I would suggest, again, be creative with that attitude. One thing that I would have them do would be to stand up, and then I would challenge them. So I would challenge them to maybe hop like a bunny or hop like a frog or waddle like a penguin, or do something like that. Do some sort of challenge. Maybe I'll have them jump up and down and then spin a couple times, and I'll try to make it fun. Sometimes they'll be like, oh my goodness, you're gonna get dizzy if you spin more, and they'll be like, no, I won't, and then they'll spin and spin and spin, and then they won't get dizzy somehow, and they'll sit down and then they'll be ready usually to play a song after they've gotten some of that energy out. So that's just a fun thing that you can do to kind of get them moving for a second, but then be like, all right, let's go back to our songs and let's go back to our music. And if you need to come up with a music game that causes them to get out some energy, such as maybe they have to hop a rhythm or they have to do some sort of musical Simon Says, then you can also do that as well. The last thing that I wanted to say was make sure that you remember that you are learning also. We never stop learning, so make sure that you come to your teaching with a very humble attitude, and make sure that you really set a good example for your students. If you don't know their home lives, you might be the best influence that they have in their life, so make sure that you're using all the time that you have with them to really set good moral standards and just show them how important it is to love other people and be kind to other people and, uphold other moral values. Make sure that you have a good time, but ultimately that they have a good time and that they enjoy music and they learn to appreciate it and they just love it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like these videos, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you on Wednesday with a new video. Bye.